don't. The next great drama in the city of heroes.
This case is why I do what I do.
Chicago Justice premieres March 5th on.
We are NBC Nebraska. Your live, local 6 o'clock news starts now.
A police officer shot while making an arrest fires back. We're following the latest from Omaha.
Plus, hopefully you enjoyed the sunshine because a change is on the way.
But first, we're continuing to see the impact of President Trump's travel ban right here in the Tri-Cities. Tonight, we hear from the universities made up of people from all different ethnicities, faiths, and backgrounds. It's your top story on NBC Nebraska News at 6. Good evening. I'm Catherine Silver.
And I'm Spencer Schubert. Thanks for joining us. Officials in the U.S. and across the globe are voicing their reaction to President Donald Trump's controversial travel ban.
Today, the White House says the change in policy was a major success and will help keep the country safe. Democrats and many opponents, however, are vowing to fight back. University of Nebraska President Hank Bounds, along with all 4 chancellors, released a statement calling the executive order disturbing and disruptive, saying, quote, "It does not represent the values of the University of Nebraska, and we join leaders of universities around the country in urging that it be promptly reconsidered." About 150 students and faculty members at the University of Nebraska come from the countries named in this ban.
University leadership is advising them to delay any travel outside of the U.S. for the time being and to seek assistance. And NBC Nebraska's Jackie Kent joins us now live from UNK. Jackie, how are staff making sure that Tri-City students are feeling welcomed?
Hey, Spencer, Catherine, luckily there's not big as a panic here in Kearney, where there are just 2 students from these countries affected by this executive order, those countries being Sudan and Somalia. And after talking with students and staff today, it's clear that making everyone feel safe is a top priority here on the UNK campus. I spoke with the Vice Chancellor of International Affairs today, and he said foreign students, he recommends they don't travel during this temporary ban and reach out to his office for any type of assistance. He says from speaking with these students, they feel most people and staff are nice and welcoming and make for an environment where they can be successful in their career goals. In fact, just last week, the campus hosted a Chinese Spring Festival, which welcomed all of its international students and staff, which he says is one of many ways they are inclusive year-round.
What we really are focusing on this campus is to look after our students. You know, we have a good group of international students, and we want them to feel valued and safe and welcome.
Of course, he likes to celebrate UNK's diversity because he says that's one reason why UNK is so special, and that's a feeling he wants to preserve. I'll be speaking with one international student living in the Tri-Cities about his experience at a local university. For now, reporting live in Kearney, Jackie Kent, NBC Nebraska News.
Looking forward to that report. Thanks, Jackie. Opposition to President Trump's travel ban is spilling over from the streets to the courtroom. 2 new federal lawsuits were filed today, one in Washington state and in Virginia, where a Muslim civil rights group argues it's not only unconstitutional, but puts American Muslims in danger.
It is giving green light for people to go after Muslims, to discriminate against Muslims.
At least a dozen congressional Republicans are now publicly opposing this ban. Tonight, they'll ask Republicans to repeal it. In order to do that, they'll need more than every single Democrat in the Senate. They will need to have Republicans join in as well.
The president also spoke briefly today about his Supreme Court nominee, which he plans to announce tomorrow.
We have a big decision that I've made, a very big decision on the United States Supreme Court that is going to be announced tomorrow night from the White House at 8 o'clock. A person who is unbelievably highly respected, and I think you will be very impressed with this person.
The front runner is Denver-based federal appeals court judge Neil Gorsuch, but leading contenders are Pennsylvania-based Judge Thomas Hardiman and Alabama-based Judge William Pryor. Let's talk weather now. January is almost over, but today it feels like spring out there.
I'm certainly not complaining, Spencer. Local parks were a big hit for most people out enjoying the 60s. I can't believe I'm even saying 60s in January. People were walking their dogs, relaxing on park benches, and even playing on the swings at Hartwell Park in Hastings. Here's Brandon with the first look at your forecast.
Yeah, the complaint department for weather was closed for today as it was really nice for us outside. In fact, you can see our temperatures for most of the state, low 50s to low 60s, though Ainsworth and O'Neill in the mid 40s. You can see some mid 60s as you head towards northern Kansas, even that 65 there in McCook. 59 in Grand Island, 61 for Kearney, Hastings, and Lexington. So I looked back at the numbers, and when was the last time we were this warm? That's right, it was a couple of months ago. November 26th in Grand Island last time we hit 59. Last time it was 61 or better in Hastings or Kearney. Well, that was back on November 16th, and that day we actually got into the upper 70s, so not quite that warm for us today. Now, interestingly enough, record high for today in Hastings and Grand Island, 69, so we did not get to record territory, but the last time we hit that mark was actually just 5 years ago, back in 2012. So it was nice today. We start the cooling trend tomorrow. I'll let you know just how much colder it's going to be coming up here in a few minutes.
We're following a developing story out of Omaha where a police officer has been shot. Omaha police tell us the officer Jill Schillerberg is recovering from a gunshot wound to the ankle. Deputy Chief Dave Baker says officers were called to a home in Dewey Park shortly before 1 o'clock for a report of a suspicious party who was looking into windows. When police tried to talk to the suspect, shots were fired. According to an eyewitness, police stepped back and one officer fired back at the suspect. The suspect was hit and emergency crews took him to the hospital. The extent of his injuries aren't known right now.
Well, it was a frightening scene that ended without harm on Interstate 80 earlier today after a semi hauling 3 horses caught on fire. It took 30 minutes to put the fire out. Hay bales in the back of the trailer were the ones that caught on fire, causing the vehicle to become fully engulfed in flames. Fortunately, another driver who had a fire extinguisher stopped to help immediately.
You know, those people that do have a fire extinguisher that do stop and actually help people in this type of situation. And it was a dangerous situation with the vehicle being on fire.
Fortunately, the driver, horses, and dog are all safe. Authorities say the semi, however, is a total loss.
Police are investigating a string of thefts tonight. In Hastings, 7 were reported in just the last 24 hours. Right now, police are unable to determine if these thefts are related. Sergeant Brian Hessler says they appear to be crimes of opportunity. It's likely crooks are taking advantage of cars that are left unlocked. Today, Governor Pete Ricketts announced his plans for tax relief.
The governor says he hopes to make Nebraska more attractive for both businesses and families. He introduced a new bill to reduce the state's personal income tax rate to below 6% over the next 8 years. For married couples who make more than $59,000 per year, this means lowering their tax rate in increments each year. And for small business owners like Eric Dinger at Powder Hook, the bill helps entrepreneurs invest more money into their business.
If we continue to make decisions that are friendly to business, we'll take our 2% unemployment rate and maybe we'll start to change some of those jobs from, you know, a median household income in a city like Lincoln of $35,000 to maybe $45,000 over time.
There is a catch, however. The tax rate only reduces when the state sees revenue growth of 3.5%.
An update on the woman at the center of a travel voucher scam. Patricia Urbanovsky, the owner of Creative Creations, will serve more than 5 years behind bars in federal prison. She's also been ordered to pay restitution to those victimized in this scam. Investigators found that Urbanovsky sold 36,347 flight vouchers, worth a total of $4.7 million to customers. In March of 2015, you may remember some Grand Island 8th graders had their class field trip put in jeopardy thanks to those oversold vouchers. Most customers had their travel plans ruined. The CDC says that 1 out of 10 women aren't able to get pregnant. The problem can hit women of all ages, but we rarely talk about it.
Tonight, one woman, though, is sharing her story. Amanda Liu struggled to conceive at just age of 22 years old. It took 7 years and 6 shots 3 times a day to welcome in her baby girl. Now the new mother is sharing some advice.
Definitely don't give up. Keep trying. Lean on your spouse, your loved one. Anybody that's gone through it can help you through it.
It wasn't just Amanda that struggled. Her husband also shared the same struggle. We'll hear that full story tonight at 10.
Still ahead on NBC Nebraska News at 6. Brandon has a full check of your work week forecast, plus another down-to-the-wire game. But this time, the Huskers get a mark in the win column. Is it a turnaround for the Big Red? Sports is on top of that.
And later, a scary encounter on a city bus, all captured on camera. A passenger heard screaming, then took matters into his own hands. You won't want to miss this. Stay with us.
Restaurant owner Brandon Ackert sought the professionals at Sutton, Linder & Sutton when he chose LASIK.
I had glasses young age, I want to say 3rd grade. I did the math and knew that it was way more affordable for me to do the surgery instead of pay for contacts for the next 40 years. I was really surprised to find out how easy and affordable LASIK was. I love the restaurant business, and now I can wake up without the hassle of contacts and glasses through the freedom of LASIK.
Call Sutton, Linder & Sutton to schedule a free LASIK consultation today.
Almost every TV station does local news, but NBC Nebraska goes to where it's happening.
Here at the Tech 1 crossing in Kearney, where a large array of solar energy panels may soon be constructed.
The house is a total loss from a lot of smoke and heat damage.
We're the station with more reporters out live in the community. That's more than local news. NBC Nebraska covers Central Nebraska better than anyone else. Your station, our communities. NBC Nebraska.
Looking for a quick, healthy dinner idea that the kids will enjoy too? Eat at Mom's every day. We have great ideas for picky eaters, feature a recipe of the day, and for moms on a budget, yummy meals you can make for less than $10. You'll find party inspiration and how to pack a delicious school lunch. The app is free. Just search for Mom's Every Day in the App Store or Google Play Store.
Keeping you hours, even days ahead of the storm. The Nebraska Weather Network is there with Weather Alert Day on NBC Nebraska. And now your NBC Nebraska weather forecast with meteorologist Brendan Rector.
Well, after topping out in the upper 50s, low 60s in the Tri-Cities this afternoon, it's back to the low to mid 40s already. 43 in Grand Island, Hastings right now, 46 in Kearney, some mid to upper 30s as you head towards Valentine, Ainsworth, and O'Neill. Still hanging on to low to mid 50s in McCook, Smith Center, and down towards Concordia there in Kansas. Even Beatrice at 51, Lincoln at 50, and Lexington checking in at 51. The wind, well, it was a breezy day for us, but the winds are diminishing now, and it looks like we are setting ourselves up for northwest winds about 5 to 10 miles per hour for the majority of tonight. But even still at this hour, some locations between 10 and 15 across northern and into the eastern part of the states. We're down to about an 8 mile per hour wind in Grand Island, Hastings. It looks like no report there from Kearney. So by tomorrow morning, we're cooling back all the way to 27. Yes, chilly, but